Brad Williams, Frugal Finance, Debt Collectors. What is an unfair, deceptive, or abusive practice by a debt collector? Federal law makes it illegal for debt collectors to use unfair or abusive practices or deceptive statements to collect a debt. The Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, the FDCPA, prohibits debt collectors from using abusive, unfair, or deceptive practices to collect debt from you, including misrepresenting the nature of the debt, including the amount owed, falsely claiming that the person contacting you is an attorney, threatening to have you arrested, threatening to do things that can't legally be done, or threatening to do things that the debt collector has no intent of doing. Examples of unfair practices. Here are a few examples of what the FDCPA would consider a prohibited practice used to collect on debt. Debt collectors are not allowed to try to collect charges in addition to the debt unless they're allowed by the contract or law. Communicate or attempt to communicate with you in connection with the collection of a debt through a social media platform if the communication or attempt to communicate is viewable by the general public or the person's social media contacts. Communicate with you by sending an email that the debt collector knows is provided to you by your employer unless an exception applies. Use any language or symbol on in an envelope for a correspondence with you that indicates it is a debt collector other than the debt collector's address or business name that doesn't indicate it's in the debt collection business. Examples of false or deceptive statements. Debt collectors are not allowed to falsely claim or imply that they are attorneys or government representatives. You have committed a crime by not paying a debt. They operate or work for a credit reporting company. You will be arrested or imprisoned if you don't pay. They will garnish or seize your wages, bank accounts, or property. Documents that they send you are legal documents if they're not. Examples of harassment by a debt collector. A debt collector is not allowed to harass, oppress, or abuse you or anyone else they contact. This includes repetitious phone calls with the intent to harass, use of obscene or profane language, and threats of violence or harm. What to do if you think a debt collector violated the law? If you believe a debt collector is using an unfair, deceptive, or abusive practice to collect debt, you can contact, instead of the CFPB, you're going to need to contact your state attorney general's office or the Federal Trade Commission. There are also state and other federal laws that generally prohibit practices that might be considered unfair, deceptive, or abusive acts or practices. You can report the incidents to the state attorney's general office. If you have any questions, concerns related to unfair debt collector practices, comment. This article will be posted below. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Thanks for watching. Hope that helped. See you soon.